So this week in pose practice, what is it, April 11th to 17th, I did some extended practice where I would take, I've talked about this before, but pick one of the poses that I did each week and turn them into more of a finished sketch. So I'll go over that a little more later, but first I want to just look at this. Not a whole lot to say in general, but like some of these, I think I did this one really quick. I tried to do this one really quick. I don't remember, to be honest. I have a really bad memory for this sort of thing, but I feel like I'm definitely getting like the depth and like perspective stuff a lot better. Here and there, right? Things that are in front, things that are behind. I'm trying to, that's the thing I'm focusing on this week, and I think a little bit last week too. This one I had trouble with. It was a little higher up of an angle that I was referencing, and it wound up looking a little flat and stubby. This one's pretty good though. It's hit or miss. Like this one's not too bad. I'm getting there. It's a struggle though. I like this one. T-pose, of course. What else do we got? This one was nice. I think I almost picked this one. My cat's snoring, by the way. I don't know if you can hear that. I almost picked this one to finish. Or did I pick that one? I honestly don't even remember. We'll see in a minute. This one's nice. All in all, very good. Like I say every week, I'm pretty much consistently surprised at how well these turn out at the end. This one I like. Very cool. I'm also getting better at drawing the head. That's another thing I've sort of been subconsciously focusing on. Not really putting too much effort in at the moment, but I have a couple ideas for like a more deep practice session that I'm going to do in maybe a month or so. That'll really, I think, help me out with the head, because I've been struggling with it. But I've got other plans for the time being, so this was today's. I like this pose. It's like peeking around a corner. I think I got it well enough. This one was pretty good. So yeah, anyway, what I want to do now is show some of these things that I was working on. How do I do this? I guess I can go through each day. So this was this pose here. I took it, and what I did, this is the background is, I basically copied it from something that, what's his name? Saito Naoki did, who's a very cool YouTube artist whose channel recently got destroyed by YouTube, so he's working on a second channel now. But he did a thing with the character facing the camera, and so I did one in reverse, and I kind of copied his background, his practice. It was really cool. I like doing the shadows like this. It was a lot of fun. So that was that day. This was the next one I did on the 12th, which I saw, which one was it? This pose, yeah. And I thought immediately, oh, that's somebody pulling a boat, So I thought, okay, well, elves have bows. So I did this with that. And this is the one that I ultimately decided to finish over the weekend, which you might have seen. I uploaded a time-lapse of the finished version. We'll look at that in a little bit, but that was that. I had fun doing the background here. I used a brush that I made, this one, and just kind of messed around with different colors. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, next we have this one, which this was another one I referenced an image from one of my favorite artists. I think it was probably this one, because it doesn't look like it could be anything else, but I changed up the pose a little bit, as you can see. And yeah, I think I did the couch good, which is cool because I just kind of threw it in. I basically thought about the plane, the flat surface. If you're lying down like this, this sort of, I thought about the plane that she's lying on, and then I built the couch from there, and it turned out pretty good. I'm not very good with perspective, but it seems like when I wing it, it turns out all right. So that's kind of cool. Next, we have this one, which was another, I referenced the hair mostly, and a little bit of the shadows from a couple other stuff from my favorite artists. I changed up the pose again. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to do something like the sun in the way or the wind, and I eventually decided on the wind. I wanted to focus on the face and the hair with this one. And hair is something I really struggle with, but a lot of my favorite artists seem to think of the hair, at least it looks like they do, in like parts. You know, like big kind of rectangles that are separate. So I did that, and I kind of looked at some reference as I went along, and it turned out pretty good, I think. I think the hips are a little wide, but all in all it was fun. This is the kind of coloring style I like, where you can see like a border along the shadows. And I used it for this one. So this is the finalized version of the elf archer thing, this one from earlier. I touched it up over the weekend and made it into this, and you can see the border along the shadows, which is a really cool style thing that I love. It's like my favorite thing in the world, to be honest. That kind of old school anime. It's like a modern take on old school cell shaded anime kind of look, but I like that. What I did is I did this on Saturday and this on Sunday. So I didn't actually pick a pose from this day, which is Saturday, or this day, which is Sunday. We've already looked over them a bit, but so yeah. I basically just took this as my reference and I touched it up. So I cleaned up the line art on the first day, tried to, I mean there's some parts that were a little awkward, like you can see there are parts on the arm that here that are open. And the hair I couldn't really figure out, like this thing, and I forgot the ear on the first day. There were some things I couldn't figure out, like the pants, the front of the pants here, I couldn't get that right, but I did enough, I think, to at least lay it out for the next day. And then I solved the problems the rest of the day. So you could see I changed up the hair a little bit. Yeah, most of this day was just, I spent a bit of time cleaning up the line art and then I just colored it. So yeah, it was really fun. I think this is kind of one of the main practice session things that I'm going to do, is do pose practice, pick one of those poses, turn it into something more complete. What is this? There's like a weird line here. And then pick one of those poses that I made into a rough sketch, and then over the weekend turn it into something more finalized. That's a fun way of doing it. But yeah, that's my week in pose practice. I guess it's a little more than just pose practice at this point, but I'm going to keep that as the title of this video series because I'm lazy. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more next week. I'm going to probably do the same process next week, and maybe the week after, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thanks again.